Scene 1. Friends Mona and Kim are in a coffee shop. There's a wall-mounted TV.
In related news, former First Lady Rosalynn Carter is urging Congress to provide more funding to help the mentally ill.
Can you believe this shit? Just what we need. Spending taxpayer money to help sickos and perverts. Turn that goddamn TV off.
Wow, another thoughtful citizen heard from. And you think democracy is really the best form of government?
I see your point, Kim, but even if occasionally a demagogue can be elected president, over the long haul, a democracy is self-correcting.
Yeah, at least in theory.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay. On a lighter note, are things any better with you and Martin?
No, even worse. Our relationship is basically on life support.
Oh. So, why are you smiling? You seem like you're in an exceptionally good mood.
I had a date with someone new last night.
Oh, well, come on. Details? Dinner and a movie?
No, it was an unusual first date for me. Dinner at that Turkish restaurant, and then we went back to his place.
Come on, I want details.
Oh, the couscous there is superb.
Oh, Mona, very, very funny. Don't make me drag it out of you.
All right, I slept with him.
How did that happen?
Don't worry. It was consensual. I didn't have to force him.
Hey, it's Mayor Bart. Turn that TV up.
Because of my leadership, crime in our fair city has been way, way down. Why, my policy should be a model for the entire nation. And remember, my friends, my 11th and 12th commandments. My 11th commandment is nobody is above the law. My 12th, be mindful. Now, keeping that in mind, friends, with your help, I will be reelected this election day.
Oh no, Mona. I think you may have violated commandment number 12. I'm pretty sure that sleeping with someone on the first date is not mindful.
Well, you're probably right, but at least what I did last night was legal, so it was in full compliance with number 11.
You're totally right. Do you think Mayor Bart will be reelected?
Oh, I've got therapy at 2. I'll call you tonight and tell you all about last night.
Yeah, I want all that juicy details.
Scene 2. Therapy session in which Mona complains about her boyfriend, Martin. Her therapist, Camille, actually has some of the same issues in her relationship with Thom.
You look well. You are glowing today.
Is it that obvious? I had a date with someone new last night. We had a fantastic time. I slept with him. I'm starting to find Martin really stifling. He's such a limited person.
Slow down. We'll get to Martin later. Tell me about this new person.
He's the opposite of Martin. I found him so physically attractive. I surprised myself at how much he fascinated me, and even fantasized about what it might be like to be married to him. But it was just one date, and...
Yes?
There were definitely some major red flags.
What kind of red flags?
The biggest is that he isn't as politically progressive as I am.
Well, that isn't a deal breaker. I know of harmonious, loving marriages where the wife is a liberal and the husband is right-wing. The key is simply to avoid talking about politics.
All right, another thing. He might not be intelligent enough for me. We had our first fight this morning. He used the word irregardless, and I told him there was no such word. He said, "What are you, the grammar police?" And when I said that it's not a grammar mistake, it's a usage mistake. You're using a word that doesn't exist. He got very pissed off that I was correcting him. Am I being overly critical and falling into my usual pattern of self-sabotage?
Do you think that's why you persisted in correcting him?
Maybe.
You realize that you haven't told me his name.
Actually, he asked me to promise I wouldn't tell anybody that we were dating, or that I slept with him. His parents are very old-fashioned. He doesn't see eye to eye with his parents on lots of things, and he doesn't want them to find out about me.
I don't understand. His parents would disapprove of his having sex?
Well, not exactly. It's because of who I am. Remember, the Daily Beastie has called me a demented man-hater because of my YouTube videos on judo for women? And I once said on TV, if a man won't take no for an answer, you can make him regret his decision for the rest of his life.
This still doesn't make sense. He's a grown man, and he's so afraid of what his parents might think?
Well, we have been working here on getting me to be less rigid and to understand what other people are feeling. Okay, I haven't told you everything about his situation. His parents are giving him half the money to buy an apartment. The closing is in 1 week, and he doesn't want to jeopardize that.
This seems complicated.
You think there is something wrong?
No, I just want you to consider that maybe you're rushing into a serious relationship with this new man as a rebound from Martin.
Oh, come on. It was just one date. It's not as if I'm going to marry him.
You did say you had fantasies about being married to him. We have to stop soon. Let's get back to Martin. Part of your attraction to Martin has been how solid he is. You even found it endearing that he was so predictable.
Predictable. More like ossified. Sex with him has become boring. And, oh, how about this? Every single time we have Chinese food, he orders the same thing. Chicken with broccoli, with brown sauce on the side. He'll never try anything else. If he's like this at 29, what will he be like when he's 50? Oh, I think he knows that I'm cooling toward him. He's been getting abusive to me lately.
Physically?
No, verbally abusive. He wouldn't dare get violent with me.
Remember, your father was very sarcastic and verbally abusive towards both you and your mother. I think we need to look at your relationship with Martin in light of that. We can explore that next time.
Scene 3. Later that evening, Camille's boyfriend Thom has come over.
Maybe they should have gotten someone else to fill in for Pat Sajak while he recovers from his surgery. Vanna White was so stiff and robotic last night.
Oh, let's watch Wheel of Fortune again tonight. It should be interesting to see if Vanna improves. She was probably just nervous. I bet she does much better tonight.
Oh, it was more than nervousness. The way that she related to the contestants seemed so phony. Would it kill her to at least pretend to be sincere? I'm gonna call for takeout. What do you want? I'm just gonna have my usual.
I'm not very hungry. Just a large wonton soup.
1 large wonton soup and an order of chicken with broccoli, with brown sauce on the side.
You have some similar tendencies as the boyfriend of one of my patients.
I thought you weren't allowed to discuss your patients.
I'm willing to make an exception this one time.
Well, I usually don't allow exceptions, but I will this one time. How am I similar to whatever his name is?
You both have an annoying habit of always ordering chicken with broccoli, with brown sauce on the side.
Oh, ouch. I didn't realize you find this so appalling.
Thom turns on the TV.
Oh no. Here's that Mayor Bart campaign ad.
Hello, friends. Our great city needs me as mayor for another 4 years. Now, you all know I have been a success at everything I have ever done. My first big win came with my chain of mindful body fitness gyms, and in our gyms we use a holistic approach that combines strenuous aerobic exercise with chanting and religious music as a way of binding endorphins to the sacred, and thus protecting you from the wiles of Satan. And although my opponent is more than likely a closet atheist, I am not going to use that against him. No, my friends, instead, my campaign is based on what I call, and we all know, as the 11th and 12th commandments. Now, the 11th is that no one is above the law. And the 12th is, be mindful. Now, the meaning of the 11th is pretty clear. For example, I will demand long prison sentences for human scum, like pedophiles or like greedy, price-gouging drug company executives. They are two sides of the same poisonous coin, my friends, preying on defenseless victims like you and me. Now, my 12th, with regard to mindfulness, if you phone this number right now, you can receive my free instructional audio tapes that teach you deep breathing exercises, and these exercises, if done properly, can put you on a glide path for achieving righteous nowness. I'm Mayor Bart, and please, this election day, vote for me.
Wow! Isn't he just too ridiculous to win?
Ugh, don't be so naive. Being ridiculous is not disqualifying. Sometimes the key to winning an election is to be ridiculous by just the right amount.
I'm afraid you're right.
Scene 4. 3 weeks before the election. Several days later, we see a man and Mona at her apartment. There are 2 nearly empty glasses of wine on a coffee table. Mona will show this man some defensive techniques to use against a mugger.
Could you handle a really strong mugger who grabbed you from behind?
Of course.
Would you show me in slow motion?
Let's move over here so I don't hurt you. I promise I will stop just before the crucial final move.
He grabs her from behind around the neck, and she shows him how she would counter that.
I'm not sure that would work. I wasn't really using my full strength.
He is really into it.
What if I did this?
No problem. I could just do this. Let's move the coffee table out of the way so we can get more serious.
The man wants to show her who's boss. Eventually, he uses a technique to overpower and flip her backwards. She falls, smashes her head against the coffee table.
Mona? Mona? Can you hear me? Oh, God.
He realizes she is dead. He is really shaken, but is composed enough to put the wine glasses and plates in the dishwasher and remove any traces of there having been a guest. Then he opens drawers and takes some jewelry, and also rips off her shirt and bra to make it look like a robbery or attempted rape, and then sneaks out of her apartment. Scene 5. The cleaning woman finds Mona's dead body and screams. Scene 6. The police investigate Mona's death and think that she was probably killed during a robbery and attempted rape gone bad. Scene 7. TV statement.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Now, I don't want to stand here in front of you today. I take no joy that Mona Malone has been murdered. I vow that we will find her killer and demand for the death penalty. The law must be applied without bias. As we all know, nobody is above the law. Even a violent feminazi like Mona Malone is entitled to justice. Now all the evidence points to an intruder who intended to rob and then to rape poor Mona. And as Mona resisted, attempting to make him regret his action for the rest of his life, folks, do not attempt to use violence. Leave that to the police, and please be careful about who you ride up in the elevator with. Now, the police chief will fill you in on all the details. Thank you for coming. Chief?
Thank you, and good afternoon. Well, I can't get into too many specifics, but we believe that this was the handiwork of the same perpetrator, the so-called masked bandit, who robbed 2 elderly women last month in their apartments. In both of those cases, when he rode up with the women in the elevator, he kept his back to the women and then suddenly put on a mask and pulled out a gun to get them to let him into their apartments. Although he took money and lots of their valuables, he made no attempt to rape them. It looks like this time the masked bandit got more ambitious.
Scene 8. Next day in Camille's apartment.
Wasn't Mona Malone one of your patients?
Yes. Oh, God, this is horrible. I just saw Mona 3 days ago and she was considering breaking up with her boyfriend.
Do you think he killed her?
Well, from what Mona has said about him, he doesn't seem like the type. He seems mild-mannered and not at all aggressive.
I don't agree with that logic. Anyone is capable of killing in a fit of rage, especially the mild-mannered type.
Well, the police think it was an attempted burglary and rape gone bad. Ugh, God, Thom, I really don't want to talk about this now. Let's watch something escapist, funny, and even a bit mind-numbing.
Well, if you want truly mind-numbing, you can't do better than the Brady Bunch. It's got it all. It's slow-moving, it's wholesome, and also very reassuring about the fixedness of gender roles.
You're a real wit, Thom. That show sounds awful. Let's try Mork and Mindy. That new comedian Robin Williams is supposed to be hilarious.
Scene 9. Next day, 2 policemen, Sgt Miller and Officer Barnes, question Camille, Mona's psychotherapist, in her apartment office. One of the policemen, named Sgt Miller, is wearing an obvious toupee.
Hello, Miss Crane. I'm Sgt Miller, and this is Officer Barnes.
Please call me Dr. Crane.
Oh, my mistake. We're here about the murder of Mona Malone. We're speaking to her contacts, and you were her shrink.
Oh, yes. How can I help? I've been really upset by her murder.
Well, the mayor has said that all the evidence points to an intruder, but Officer Barnes and I are part of a special task force to look into other possibilities. We're not ready to eliminate the possibility that Mona was murdered by someone she knew, like maybe a disgruntled boyfriend. Martin Morgan, her long-term boyfriend, has already been questioned. Was Mona seeing anyone else?
Well, Mona had just started seeing someone new, but she wouldn't tell me his name. Even if I knew his name, I'm not sure that I would be permitted to tell you because of patient confidentiality.
Dr. Crane, Mona is dead, and this is a murder investigation. Don't you want her killer caught? Now what can you tell us about this new person Mona was seeing?
She really liked him.
Did she say what he did for a living? Where he lived?
No.
Anything about what he looked like? Any sort of physical description?
No. Just that he was very physically attractive. She was really into him.
Was he into her? Was he banging her?
That is a very inappropriate thing to say. I thought the police department was requiring sensitivity training sessions.
Please excuse Officer Barnes' crudeness. He's a new recruit and still a little rough around the edges.
Officers like him give the police a bad name. I recommend that he receive sensitivity training as soon as possible.
Okay, calm down. Let's get back on track. Is there anyone Mona might have confided in, like a good friend?
She has a friend from the U2 movement, Heidi Grant. And her best friend, Kim Carter, lives upstairs in apartment 4B. Mona might have told one of them who her new boyfriend was. Anything else? I have a patient who will be arriving any moment.
Okay, we won't take any more of your time. I don't want to be charged for this session. But seriously, we might need to question you again, so here's my card. If you think of anything that might be helpful, don't hesitate to call, even at night.
Scene 10. The next day, Heidi Grant's apartment.
Hello, Miss Grant. I'm Sgt Miller, and this is Officer Barnes. Can we come in?
Come God damn it! If this is about the back rent, I told that fucker I'd pay part of it next week.
Relax. This is about the murder of Mona Malone.
You call that relaxing? That was so horrible. You know, Mona and I had our disagreements, but I'm still very upset about her murder.
You were pretty good friends with Mona.
Non-committal about being called a good friend, Heidi is somewhat embittered.
I worked with her in the U2 movement.
We have information that she started dating someone new. Did she happen to mention that to you?
Yes, she did. I couldn't understand why she wanted to ditch Martin. I know she found him a little dull, but he seemed like a really considerate guy with a good job. I mean, lots of women wouldn't mind having a boyfriend like that.
Let's get back to this new boyfriend. What did she say his name was?
She wouldn't tell me his name.
Well, we need to find who this new boyfriend was so that we can interview him. Is there anything she might have told you that can help identify him? His job, where he lives, his physical appearance? Any friends of his that she might have mentioned?
All she told me was that she started seeing someone new and that she really liked him. But she did also say there were some red flags, so she wanted to take things slowly.
What kind of red flags?
She didn't give me any details.
Miss Grant, this is a murder investigation. Any little thing you remember might help us. I hope that you're not hiding something from us.
Yeah, you could wind up in prison for withholding evidence. Prison can be pretty unpleasant for a pretty woman like you, unless you're into that kind of stuff.
Ew! How dare you! I am not hiding anything, and I resent being threatened like I'm the criminal. You know, it is heavy-handed policemen like him that give the police a bad reputation. I have told you what I know. Please leave now.
Please excuse Officer Barnes. He's new on the job. Here's my card. If something else occurs to you, don't hesitate to call.
As they are out the door.
And good luck with your landlord.
Why the fuck did you piss her off? You need to be more tactful. And what's with wishing her good luck with her landlord?
Come on, I was just trying to make amends and show her that we're on her side. Do you think she was hiding something?
I don't think so. We'll interview the therapist's upstairs neighbor next.
Scene 11. Later that day at Kim Carter's apartment.
All right, I'll do all the talking this time. Watch how I'll start by establishing a friendly rapport with Kim. The personal touch goes a long way in getting a witness to be cooperative.
You don't want me to do any of the questioning this time?
Yeah, that's right. Watch and learn.
Miller knocks on the door.
I'm Sgt Miller and this is Officer Barnes. Can we take a few minutes of your time?
Okay, please come in.
Oh, you have a beautiful apartment.
Thank you.
And that's such an interesting painting over your sofa. What's that painter's name?
Jackson Pollock.
What a clever pattern it has. This Jackson guy must be a real genius.
Lots of people don't think much of his work. Maybe partly because of how he lived his life. One of his nicknames is Jack the Dripper.
Isn't it funny how some geniuses turn to a life of crime? Still, this painting is a bold choice by you, the way it ties your living room together. You got a real flair for decorating.
Oh, brother.
Thank you, but I don't suppose you're here to discuss my decorating abilities. Is this about Mona Malone?
Yes.
I'm still in shock over her murder. I hope that you can find her killer. Is there any way that I can help?
Yeah, I'll get straight to the point. We learned that Mona had just started dating someone new. Did Mona tell you anything about a new man she started dating?
Yes, she did. She said he was really sweet and she liked him a lot.
It's important that you tell us his name. We'd like to interview him. We need to follow all possible leads.
Is he a suspect? Gosh, it's really improbable that he had anything to do with her death. They really hit it off.
You familiar with what Sherlock Holmes said about the improbable? And I quote, "Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth."
Detective, you are impressively well-read.
Well, thank you, but let's put literature and metaphysics aside, because we really need some basic facts here. Did Mona tell you the name of this new boyfriend?
Yeah, she did, but I feel uncomfortable revealing that. Mona made me swear I wouldn't tell anyone who he was. She said that I was the only person she told. I'm a little afraid to say who he is.
Miss Carter, Mona is dead. She can't hold you to your promise.
That's not why I'm afraid.
Look, this is a police investigation. You could go to prison for withholding pertinent information. His name!
Okay. His name is Stefan Bart, and he's Mayor Bart's son.
Holy crap, the mayor's son! Mayor Bart is not gonna like this. This is gonna be tricky. Have you told anyone else?
No, like I said, Mona swore me to secrecy.
Okay, tell no one. We gotta figure this out. Mayor Bart doesn't like bad news, especially if it affects his election prospects. He can be very vindictive.
You're scaring me even more. I've heard how ruthless he can be. Will he learn that I'm the one who told you about his son?
Don't worry, Mayor Bart won't find out who told us about Stefan. You got my word. Now, here's my card for my secure phone line. If there's anything you want to discuss, call me anytime.
Okay. Thank you, Officer Miller.
Scene 12. Interesting news article based on a leaked observation from one of the crime scene investigators. There were 2 wine glasses in the dishwasher along with the other dirty dishes, raising the possibility that Mona knew her killer. A shock jock radio host said there was another interpretation of the 2 wine glasses, that her killer was a stranger who was a hopeless romantic and wanted to create an intimate ambiance before raping and then killing her. Scene 13. 2 weeks before the election. Mayor Bart's office. Stefan enters.
Close the door. Stefan, this is Lenny Logan. Lenny's an old friend and an early investor in my fitness gyms.
Yeah, I know. I met Lenny at the grand opening of one of your gyms.
Yeah, I remember. It was the one in Oakdale. You made a big fuss about making sure that the raisins that we provided were organic.
Yeah, thank you for that. You're right on both counts, Lenny.
Okay, that's enough chit-chat.
Oh, is this about Mona again?
Yes. You really fucked up. If it comes out that you killed Mona, that would sink my reelection campaign. Even if it becomes known that you were dating her, that would be bad because of how much my base hated her and her U2 videos.
As I told you last time, nobody saw us together the night that I accidentally killed her.
Okay. We won't go over that night again. On your first date with Mona when you went out to eat at that Turkish restaurant, might someone there have recognized the 2 of you together?
I really doubt it. It was dark, and she didn't look anything like she does in her U2 videos. Now, she was wearing a nice dress instead of her judo outfit, and her hair was down. Oh, she looked fantastic. So sexy.
I can't believe it. Your son is still thinking with his dick.
Okay, why don't you shut the fuck up?
Oh yeah, why don't you come over here and make me, huh?
Okay, both of you. Let's stay focused. Stefan, you're still certain that nobody knew you were dating Mona?
Yes, I am. I was very careful. I'm well aware of what your base thinks of Mona and her U2 videos.
Okay, Stefan. That's all for now.
Scene 14. Lenny remains in Bart's office.
You didn't want to tell Stefan that we found out that Kim Carter knows that Stefan was dating Mona?
No. It's much better if Stefan doesn't know. He's still naive about how things work in the real world.
What was he thinking? Getting involved with Mona. He could ruin everything you worked so hard for. He's some piece of work, that guy.
Well, I'm glad that Stefan came to me right away for help after he killed Mona. We can handle this, and you better stop bad-mouthing my son.
Okay, sorry. So, what's the plan?
Scene 15. Next evening, Kim is walking home at night. Kim is not aware that a car is slowly following her. Then she realizes that someone is following her on foot, and she decides to cross the street. As she is crossing, the car from behind speeds up and deliberately plows into her. She hits the ground with a loud thud. There is a man walking his dog who has curiously watched everything. He doesn't approach Kim to see if she's alive. He looks around and sneaks off. Scene 16. Kim's death described as a hit and run, is the lead story in the local newspapers. Scene 17. Camille and Thom are in Camille's living room.
Thom, are we good for each other? At times, I feel something is missing.
In our relationship or in me?
In you? You're a nice, smart person, and I really like you, but you're a master at avoiding intimacy. I need you to be emotionally present, not off in your head somewhere else.
Maybe I need Mayor Bart's tapes to learn breathing techniques for a glide path to righteous nowness.
Okay, I can see you're not up for talking about this now.
Camille shakes her head and turns on the TV in disgust.
Anyone with leads about the hit-and-run driver who killed Kim Carter, please call the following number.
Camille turns off the TV.
You know, Thom, I'm suspicious of those two policemen who questioned me about Mona.
Why?
They asked me if Mona was seeing anyone beside Martin. I told them she was, that I didn't know who he was, but that her best friend, Kim, might know. Then lo and behold, 2 days later, Kim is killed in a hit-and-run incident.
Coincidences happen. We only remember when they do happen, but not all the zillion times that they don't. Do the math.
You do the math. This is a really big coincidence, and there was something fishy about those policemen. One of them was a real thug, and the other, the sergeant, seemed like a weasel. I'd like to get them back here so I can feel them out. I'm very perceptive about people, or haven't you noticed?
I'm perceptive enough to have noticed.
I'll phone Sgt Miller and get him to come here by telling him that I have some new information.
What do you want to find out?
Whether Kim told them who Mona's new boyfriend was, and if so, what they did with the information, who they told. I can usually tell when people are lying.
Either you're imagining some crazy conspiracy or you're actually onto something. And if you are onto something, it could be dangerous for you to pursue this. Either way, it's best to just leave this alone. Leave it to the police.
What if we can't trust the police? It's extremely important to me to try to find her killer.
Why is it so important to you?
Mona was more than just a patient of mine. She was a huge influence in the feminist community. And I never told you about what happened to my younger sister 8 years ago when she was a college student.
What happened to her?
She was raped at a frat party by someone she knew. The police essentially sided with the guy who raped her. After they learned that my sister wasn't a virgin, they bought the rapist's claim that my sister had been acting in a very seductive manner at the frat party. They even had the gall to lecture her on not leading men on and taking more responsibility for how she dresses.
Oh my God, that is an awful story. But you don't have the training or resources to play detective. This is risky, serious business.
I have a plan, and you're going to have a nice role in it.
I am?
Here's what I want you to do. First, set up a concealed tape recorder hidden in the living room where I'll be talking to Miller and Barnes. And then I want you to hide in the bedroom when they're here.
I don't know about that.
You're afraid, aren't you? I thought you believe in justice and are willing to take a stand when necessary. Aren't you the man that I thought you were?
Now, that's a deep and difficult question on multiple levels. Let's just say that if I'm a coward, I'm a rational coward. My biggest fear is losing you.
Then you'll do it?
Yes, but if you get us both killed, I'll never forgive you.
Very funny.
Scene 18. Later that evening. Camille is doing laundry in a dimly lit and deserted basement laundry room. Camille becomes frightened when she hears a noise.
Somebody there?
And more so during the long time it takes for the elevator to arrive.
Oh, just come on, elevator, come on.
She begins to regret making the appointment.
Why did I make that appointment? Come on.
Scene 19. 2 days later, Miller and Barnes come to Camille's apartment.
Sorry, we're a little late. So, what's your new information?
Well, I have a strong hunch that Mona's killer was one of her boyfriends. Did you find out who her new boyfriend was?
No, Kim didn't know. What's your hunch based on?
Nothing specific. Maybe just feminine intuition. It's just that it's quite a... Silly me. I was just trying to play amateur detective. I should leave things up to the police. Sorry if I wasted your time.
You know what? I don't think you're being honest with us. Maybe this new boyfriend is a patient of yours. You know, you could go to prison if you're concealing pertinent information, so what aren't you telling us?
I'm not hiding anything. Will you excuse me for a second while I check my phone messages? My 6 o'clock appointment should have been here by now. He's usually very punctual.
Camille goes into the bedroom and shuts the door behind her. Miller and Barnes don't realize that the concealed tape recorder is running.
Camille seemed really nervous. My gut tells me that she knows something. Maybe she found out from Kim who that new boyfriend was.
Yeah, and I wonder if she senses that we were responsible for Kim's death.
Not so loud, Barnes.
Should we put her in some kind of solitary confinement until after the election and call it witness protection?
Look at you, using a euphemism.
See? I'm not so dumb.
Let's go out to the car now. We'll call the boss to see what we should do about Camille.
I hope he says kill her. She's a real bitch.
All right, we're leaving now.
Scene 20. Camille emerges from the bedroom, followed by Thom.
I'm positive Miller was lying about whether he found out who the new boyfriend was.
How could you tell?
Just by the change in his facial expression when I asked him. Maybe I should have challenged him more and said what a big coincidence it was that Kim was killed so soon after you guys interviewed her. But I kind of chickened out. That might have been dangerous.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't challenge him. Listen, I've got to hit the road. I'm meeting with a client. It's a long drive, so I probably won't be back to my apartment until well past midnight.
Okay. Drive carefully. Your brakes are so loose that they barely work. You've got to get them fixed.
They're okay. You just need a masterful foot that keeps pressing the pedal until the brakes engage. You gotta show them who's boss.
Oh, don't give me that sexist show them who's boss crap. You get them fixed this week.
Okay, I will.
Scene 21. Camille does some chores. There wasn't actually a 6 o'clock patient. She decides to listen to the recording. She fast forwards to when she was in the bathroom and becomes terrified when she hears the part that they might need to kill her.
We'll call the boss to see what we should do about Camille.
I hope he says kill her.
Oh, God, I'm such an idiot. I should have listened to Thom.
Then she hears a neighbor in the hall.
Are you guys here to snake out my toilet? I didn't realize it was a two-man job.
Camille tiptoes toward her door.
No, ma'am. Please go back into your apartment.
Camille quickly picks up the recording device, looks around, and then decides to hide it in the cabinet near the sink behind the garbage can, and stacks some bags on top of it. Then there's a loud knock on Camille's door. Camille doesn't answer.
I heard sounds. She's still in there. See if you can get the door open.
Camille is terrified. She runs into the bedroom and hurriedly grabs her purse and flees just in time. Miller and Barnes break into the apartment, and the fluttering curtains tell them that Camille has gone down the fire escape.
Are you fucking serious?
It's all right. We'll get her.
Scene 22. Later that evening, Camille has calmed down and taken stock of her situation. There is no way to get in touch with Thom, and she doesn't want to endanger any of her friends. She needs a place to spend the night and wants a hotel where you don't have to provide ID, and they mind their own business. seedy hotel. There was a faint smell of urine in the hotel lobby.
Well, what's up, Buttercup? What can I do you for?
I'd like a room. What do you charge?
That's $30 for the nightingale. We also have an hourly rate for, shorter stays.
I need to stay all night. Oh, I only have $15 in change.
You don't want to pay with your credit card?
No, I don't want my boyfriend to find out.
Listen, sweetheart, we are extraordinarily discreet here, okay? What you do is your own business. No pun intended.
Oh, I see by your button that you're a veteran. You're much too young for the Korean War. Vietnam, I assume?
Oh, yeah. I was drafted right out of high school. Got this old limp from a bullet I took in the knee. But I guess I'm lucky I came back alive. I did lose some good buddies over there, though.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And thank you for your service. Could you do me a big favor? Can I give you $10 now and then an extra $30 tomorrow?
All right. Just this once. See, I'm on duty till 11 tomorrow morning, and as we are eager to get more high-class clientele like yourself, I think that'd be all right. So, what name do you go by, anyway?
Monique.
Well, all right, Monique. I'm Henry, and you're in room 104, just down the hall. And, darling, thank you for your service. Listen, humanity owes you a debt of gratitude. Oh, I almost forgot. There you are. Here's some clean towels and pillowcases. You have a nice night.
At around midnight, Camille is awakened by a knock on the door. She wonders how Miller and Barnes could have tracked her down. She slept in her clothing and is ready to flee. The window is stuck and won't open. The knocking gets louder.
Open up, Monique. You can call Henry. He'll vouch for me. I can pay in advance.
Oh, fuck you! I've got a gun, so you'd better go away.
Well, fuck you too, goddamn whore.
Scene 23. The next morning, Thom is back in his apartment, sleeping soundly. A little before 7 a.m., his phone rings.
Hello?
This is Marina from Safeway Brake Repairs. How can I exceed your expectations this morning?
Who the hell is this? Damn it, you just woke me up.
Safeway Brake Repairs? Sir, you need to do some breathing exercises. We have a special offer on brake servicing.
Oh, yeah, I do need my brakes fixed. I'm glad you called.
We had a cancellation for an 8:30 a.m. appointment. Can you make it?
Yes, what's the address?
We are right next to the Commerce Bank, and please pay in cash.
Okay.
Scene 24. Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. Outside, in front of the Commerce Bank.
I take it you were afraid that my phone was tapped?
Yeah, I've got a lot to tell you.
Whoa, take a deep breath. Calm down.
No, I'm really scared, Thom. I think that Miller and Barnes have orders to kill me.
Whoa, what? What makes you think that?
Oh, they discussed it when I went into the bedroom.
Do you have the tape?
No. When I heard them knocking on my apartment door, I moved the tape and recorder to a better hiding place. I put it in a kitchen cabinet under some bags. Then, when I heard them trying to jimmy the door open, I panicked, and I grabbed my purse, and I fled down the fire escape.
You look exhausted. Let's get you some breakfast, and then we can figure out what to do.
Scene 25. At a restaurant.
Thom, Mayor Bart's police department is very corrupt. Clearly, it's not just Miller and Barnes in on this. We don't know who else is. Or if the corruption goes all the way up to the police chief or even the mayor.
Okay. The most important thing right now is to keep you safe.
Well, I sure won't feel safe if Mayor Bart is reelected, with his reputation for protecting unsavory characters, especially his loyal allies.
Okay, calm down. I know, you're right, and he's leading the polls with the election just a few days away. Why do you think you're such a target?
Well, here's my theory. I think that Mona was murdered by the new guy that she was dating, and the police are protecting him.
Protecting him how?
By silencing anyone who knows his identity.
Okay, slow down. Let me get this straight. You think that Mona may have told Kim his name and that, using your euphemism, Kim was silenced by the hit-and-run driver?
Yes. During my second interview, Sgt Miller seemed to have thought that I know who the new boyfriend was. Maybe that my upstairs neighbor Kim told me. And now I too need to be gotten rid of.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now I'm even more worried about you.
My feeling of terror and helplessness comes and goes in waves. I've never been this scared in my life. Thom, what can we do?
It's all right. We're gonna figure this out. Listen, we need to get that tape recording. That should help protect you, and even though it may not be enough to prevent Mayor Bart from being reelected. Do you think it's safe at all for you to go back to your apartment?
No, I don't.
Why don't you call your cleaning lady, Juanita? See if she can go get the tape.
Well, I've thought of that, but I don't want to put her life in danger.
But your life is the one that's in danger right now. Explain the entire situation to her. You once told me that she's not a big fan of the police. Use that. Go ahead and see if she's willing.
Okay. She does hate the police for planting drugs in her daughter's car. I'll call her right now, and then I'll go pay the clerk what I owe him for that delightful hotel stay. Then let's check into a better hotel and relax.
Scene 26, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Bart and his police chief in Bart's office.
Chief, what the fuck is going on? My lead in this election has stopped at 7 points.
Oh, don't worry, Mayor. You're a cinch to win re-election.
Yeah, well, just winning isn't good enough. I've got a real shot at becoming the next president of the United States, but I need this win in a blowout! Listen, I've got an idea for how I can get a last-minute boost if you're willing to pay attention for 5 seconds.
What kind of boost? I hope it's nothing crazy.
Uh-huh. Well, I want you to arrest Martin Morgan for the murder of Mona Malone. How's that?
What? His alibi for the night of the murder is pretty solid.
There are ways we can poke holes in it, and don't forget we can play up the fact that she was on the verge of breaking up with him like that day. All right? We've got real evidence of that.
This could backfire. We really don't have a case against him.
Are you trying to start an argument with me right now? Listen, you don't want to tangle assholes with me. I've got shit tons on you.
Okay. I can have him arrested, but it's still unlikely we could get a conviction.
That doesn't matter because the trial won't be until after the election. But now his arrest would make good on my promise to find the killer quickly, and even better, we can use the culture wars. Remember, Martin Morgan had been a big advocate of gay rights and other bleeding heart causes. This will get my base fired up.
Scene 27, Tuesday at 1 p.m. TV announcement.
Through the excellent work of our police department, we now have ample evidence to charge Martin Morgan with the murder of Mona Malone. In fact, he has just been arrested. Now the chief will give you all the details. Chief?
Scene 28, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Local TV station. A voice-altered and face-covered informant gives a statement in response to the arrest of Martin Morgan.
I suspect a police cover-up in the arrest of Martin Morgan. I knew Mona Malone and Martin Morgan. Keep in mind that Martin is quite short. On the night of her murder, I saw Mona and a tall man going into her building. 3 days after Mona Malone's murder, I phoned the police special tips hotline, and when I told them that the man with Mona was tall, definitely over 6 feet, the person taking my statement thanked me. but seemed to lose interest. He didn't even ask me for my name in case they needed to get back in touch with me. I want to remain anonymous because I'm afraid of retribution by Mayor Bart's most ardent supporters.
Scene 29. TV interview with Mayor Bart.
Who do you think has come up with this phony witness to undermine the fine work by our police? I never would have imagined that my opponent would stoop so low as to try to steal this election, but I guess I was wrong. An anonymous source can just make stuff up. There is zero accountability for lying because their identity is secret.
What about the responsibility of the press in this?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. The press is complicit by enabling my opponent and his liberal agenda. Maybe the answer is for the press to face the prospect of prison time for what they print.
Scene 30. Tuesday night. Stefan and Bart talk in Bart's home.
After that anonymous source who may have seen me, I've been a wreck. I've been thinking about coming forward about what happened. Even before that article, I've had such a guilty conscience.
I don't believe this. You need to toughen up, Stefan. Guilty consciences are for losers. And you know I can protect you.
Yeah, but if I don't tell what happened, and then it comes out that it was me who killed Mona that night and then covered it up, then nobody will believe it was just an accident. I could be facing a long prison sentence.
Listen, you've got to stay calm. It won't ever come out that it was you. I've got plenty on the chief of police, and he wouldn't dare cross me.
It seems that all you're interested in is yourself. I gotta figure out what's best for me.
Stefan, you do not want to tangle assholes with me. If you confess now, you're dead to me. Now let's both calm down. You need to take a vacation for a while. Head out to the Virgin Islands with your friend Brenda or something.
Scene 22. Wednesday, 1 p.m. Camille gets back to their hotel room.
Let's sit down, Thom. I've got some news. Yesterday, I phoned an ex-boyfriend who's a prosecutor in Oakdale.
I hope you're not breaking up with me.
No, of course I'm not. Just, please, let me finish. He has contacts and friends in Bart's police department. I asked him to find out what he could about Sgt Miller and Officer Barnes. Well, today when I phoned, he told me that there is a new recruit named Officer Barnes, but no policeman named Sgt Miller.
So one real police officer and one fake one. Where does that put us?
I have a theory, but no real proof.
What's your theory?
That anonymous source said he saw a tall man entering Mona's apartment with her the night that she was murdered. I believe the killer was that tall man and not the 5'7" Martin. So why did the hotline officer lose interest when the caller said it was a tall man?
I don't know. Why?
Well, I think I know the answer. The tall man was Mayor Bart's son, Stefan. He's 6'2". It all makes sense. Mayor Bart must have ordered for Kim to be killed because of what she knew, that Stefan had been dating Mona. Mona can say some really insulting things at times. It's possible that they had a fight and somehow Stefan killed her.
But you had told me that they really liked each other. Your theory seems quite far-fetched. And is there any shred of concrete evidence to back this up?
No, not a shred.
So where does that leave us? If Bart wins re-election, he'll have even more power.
That's true, but I'm not willing to go into permanent hiding. We've got work to do. First of all, we need to find out who Sgt Miller really is. Secondly, we desperately need to get a hold of that tape. My cleaning woman, Juanita, is going to my apartment this afternoon and we'll try to get it. If she can get the tape, we'll have some solid evidence. Namely, a police officer and someone impersonating a police officer discussing killing me. And we also have them incriminating themselves in the death of Kim Carter.
Scene 32. Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. When Juanita arrives at Camille's apartment, there are two policemen in the apartment who have been assigned to treat it as a crime scene, and if Camille shows up, to forcibly arrest her and gag her if she creates a commotion.
I here to clean the apartment?
Whoa. I'm sorry, but you can't go in there. It's a crime scene.
It's okay. Let her in to do the dirty dishes and deal with the garbage. It's starting to stink to high hell in here. She notices that the recording device hasn't been discovered, but has no real chance to retrieve it because one of the police officers is keeping an eye on her. Later, she phones Camille and disappointedly tells her what happened. The officer, who was watching her closely, notices that she seemed to be looking for something in the kitchen. After she leaves, he phones the police chief. Although this is highly irregular without a search warrant, the police chief comes to Camille's apartment to oversee a thorough search. The police find the tape and recording device. Scene 33, 4:30 p.m. Police chief and Bart in Bart's office.
Boss, here's a tape we found in Camille's apartment. We're lucky to have found it.
What's on it?
Camille had secretly recorded Lenny's second interview with her. We found the tape hidden in her kitchen. It's got some incriminating stuff that Lenny said in connection with Kim Carter's death, and that Camille might need to be killed.
And
don't worry, it only incriminates Barnes and Lenny. It doesn't directly incriminate you.
Uh-huh. I want to listen to it right now.
I wonder if she senses that we were responsible for people's deaths. Not so loud. I hope he says kill her. She's a real bitch.
Well, you're right. It really nails him. I will take this recording. Let's not tell them about the tape just yet.
On the theory that what they don't know won't hurt them?
Sort of. I've been bothered by Lenny's attitude lately. I might want to keep this tape in reserve in case I need to keep Lenny in line. You know, protection for a rainy day.
Like stuff you have on me you haven't told me about?
You don't know the half of it.
Scene 34, Thursday morning. A second anonymous informant.
I was an eyewitness to what happened the night Kim Carter was killed. Kim was being followed by a car and also by a short man on foot. When she tried to cross the street, the car intentionally plowed into her. Kim Carter's death was no accident. It was cold-blooded murder. Is Mayor Bart's police department hiding something?
Scene 35, Thursday, noon. Lenny, the police chief, and Bart in Bart's office. Lenny is wearing a wire because he is afraid Bart might throw him under the bus.
Now we have two anonymous informants that are a problem.
I'm most worried about the informant who saw Mona and Stefan enter her building. Damn it. Stefan was so sure there was nobody around.
You shouldn't have believed him, Mayor. As I told you before, your son thinks with his dick.
You like working for me, Lenny?
Sorry.
Anyhow, regarding that first informant, we might make him an offer that he can't refuse to get him to change his recollection of what he saw. Any luck finding out his identity?
No luck. It looks like he called the tips hotline from a payphone.
Scene 36, Thursday, 1 p.m. Back in their hotel room, Camille enters the room.
Where have you been?
I was at the library combing through news articles about Mayor Bart, and I found the missing link.
Missing link? You mean who the short man posing as Sgt Miller really is?
Yep.
Well, who is he?
Well, he was wearing a toupee when he pretended to be Sgt Miller, but his real name is Lenny Logan. And he's a close friend of Mayor Bart's. When I came across a photo of Mayor Bart and Lenny Logan together at the opening of one of his gyms, I realized immediately that Sgt Miller was actually Lenny Logan. The clincher was the way his two front teeth overlapped.
Very interesting. So, Mayor Bart's close friend Lenny Logan was posing as a police officer. This definitely ties Mayor Bart to criminal activity. Remind me what was on that tape?
Well, the most incriminating thing was that Barnes said that he was afraid that I suspected that he and Miller had murdered Kim, and that maybe I needed to be gotten rid of, but they needed to talk to the boss about that.
You and I both know that Mayor Bart is involved in some nasty stuff, but without that tape, we still don't have any concrete evidence linking him.
Why are you so tired?
I had trouble sleeping last night. Also, every time we make a little progress, we still come up against the same wall. We don't have that tape. I'm gonna go for a jog now. Maybe that'll resuscitate me.
Okay. When you get back, we can think this through. We are definitely making progress.
Scene 37. Thom gets back from his jog.
All revived? You don't look it.
No, I'm totally shot. I shouldn't have gone on that longer run.
Why don't you take a nap? I need you to be Thom the alert, witty guy, not zombie impersonator.
Okay, well, don't wake me up for anything.
What if the hotel is on fire?
Well, in that case, use your best judgment.
Okay, I'm going to watch TV. I'll keep the volume low. Don't make fun of me, but I'm going to watch Mr. Rogers in order to relax.
What? Which version of the show? The bleeped or the unbleeped?
What a witch you are. I happen to find Mr. Rogers very reassuring.
Camille turns on Mr. Rogers.
Hello, boys and girls. I've got something special to tell you today. When I was a little boy, I didn't have any brothers or sisters. And so I was alone a lot. Do you know what I did so I wouldn't feel lonely? I would pretend. Do you know what it means for you to pretend? It means to make believe that you're something that you're not. For example, you can make believe that you're a chicken. Like this. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Can you pretend to be a horse?
Nee! Nee!
Where am I? Is the stable on fire? Was that you neighing, Camille?
Yes.
Are you off your fucking rocker?
No, I'm not, Thom. Mr. Rogers just gave me an idea for a plan.
Mr. Rogers, you can't be serious.
Hear me out, Thom. Mr. Rogers was explaining to the kiddies what it means to pretend. Lenny Logan pretended to be Sgt Miller, but he isn't the only one who can pretend.
He's not?
No, he's not. Are you ready to hear my plan that could put Mayor Bart in prison?
Okay, but first, here are my reservations about your plan.
Whoa, you're jumping the gun. How can you have reservations about my plan if you haven't even heard it yet?
Okay, what's your plan?
Regarding the tape, remember that Juanita told me that the tape was still safely hidden in my apartment.
Go on. Why do I have the feeling that you're going to assign me a nice role in this?
Quite right. You would have a very nice role should you choose to accept it. I want you to call Sgt Miller, aka Lenny Logan, on his special phone number and pretend that you are the anonymous eyewitness that was there the night Kim Carter was killed. Say you want $5,000 from Miller, otherwise you will make public some information that could be very incriminating to a certain individual. Thom, this could put your life in danger, so feel free to say no. I promise that I won't hold it against you if you say no.
Oh, you greatly underestimate me. I'm on a glide path to righteous nowness. Risk be damned. Yes, of course I'll do it. I'm living in the present moment, and presently still living.
You're incorrigible. But I mean that in a good way.
Scene 38. Camille's plan. Camille's friend, Rick Haley, is a prosecutor in the neighboring city of Oakdale and has been trying to get the goods on Mayor Bart for years. Rick is all in with Camille's plan and has gotten 2 of his police officers to take part in it. Thursday night, Thom, pretending to be the eyewitness who saw Kim Carter's murder, phones Lenny Logan. Although Lenny is very cagey on the phone call, he does agree to meet Thom at the Black Bull Tavern in Oakdale. After the phone call, Camille and Thom go over the plan again, and Camille assures Thom that Oakdale Detective Gonzalez and his female partner will be sitting at one of the tables at the tavern. Scene 39. Thursday night. Thom, pretending to be the eyewitness who saw Kim Carter's murder, phones Sgt Miller.
information for you about the deaths of Mona Malone and Kim Carter. If you're interested, I want a one-time payment of $5,000 for the information. I'm not greedy, and once I receive that payment, that will be the end of my involvement.
This is a bad connection. Is there some place we can meet? I think I can pay for useful information. It could be a big boost to my career.
Let's meet at the outdoor patio of the Black Bull Tavern in Oakdale tonight, 8 p.m. Do you know where that tavern is?
It's hard to hear. Did you say the Black Bull Tavern? I know the place.
Yeah. Don't bother coming without the $5,000, and come alone. If not, deal's off.
Scene 40, Friday at 8 p.m. Black Bull Tavern Stakeout. When Lenny arrives, Thom, who was wearing a wire, is already seated at a somewhat secluded outdoor table. Both Lenny and Thom are wearing disguises. Lenny looks around cautiously. Lenny is going to say that he is willing to pay money to solve the crime of who killed Kim Carter, because that would be a big boost to his career.
Are you Sgt Miller?
Yes. And you are?
That's not important. Did you bring the $5,000?
I'll pay you, if your information is useful.
I'd like to be paid now. My information is very useful. It's about the death of Kim Carter. This would be a one-time payment. I'm not greedy. Do you have the money with you?
Yes, I have the money. Well, you gotta give me some idea of the nature of your information.
Show me the money.
Lenny pulls a wad of bills to the edge of his pocket.
Give it to me now and I'll tell you. I'm not greedy. It's just a one-time payment.
It doesn't work that way. What have you got?
Let's just say that it could be very incriminating to certain people.
That could be helpful for me. I'd like to get credit for solving whatever case you have information on.
Let's get serious. I want to be paid first.
This needs to be done correctly, okay? How can I get in touch with you if I need to?
You think I'm stupid? I saw what happened the night that Kim Carter was killed. We both know what happened.
Oh, yeah? What do you think you saw?
We're just going around in circles. Maybe I should sell my information somewhere else.
Hey, sit back down. We need to work out the details.
I don't like your attitude. Get your fucking hands off me!
From a distant table, a police detective comes over and identifies himself and looms over Lenny, who is quite short. There are also a male and female detective at another table, but they stay put.
I'm Police Detective Gonzalez. You two need to calm down.
Sorry. It's okay. We'll keep our voices down. This is my friend Sgt Miller. We were just having a minor disagreement.
I do not recognize you. Which precinct are you from?
I'm from neighboring,
What's that bulge in your pocket?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Well, I'm making it my business because I think you have a lot of money in your pocket.
This is a private matter that my police department is handling.
Police from different departments need to cooperate with each other, no? Let me see your police identification. I'm not so sure you're really even a police officer. If you're not, I could arrest you for impersonating a police officer. It's your move. How can we handle this?
Maybe we can settle this amicably. Like you said, police need to work together. I got $5,000. I can give each of you $2,500, and then let's forget that this ever happened. Huh?
Are you trying to bribe me? I could arrest you.
Arrest me? This isn't a communist country. It's a democracy. I know my rights. Did you ever hear of free speech in the First and Second Amendments? Are you a fucking idiot?
Oh yeah, mi hermano? You're under arrest.
Under arrest? Listen, asshole, you don't know who you're dealing with. You are way out of your depth. You know how powerful Mayor Bart is. Well, I'm Mayor Bart's right-hand man, and we can ruin you.
Cuff him.
Get off.
A little while after the Black Bull steam operation, Thom phones Camille and tells her that her plan worked to perfection. That thanks to the great acting job by Detective Gonzalez, Lenny Logan had dug a deep hole for himself and had been arrested. Scene 41. Late Friday night, prosecutor and assistant discuss how they will handle the interrogation.
Okay, Lenny Logan doesn't know that Camille Collins hid a tape recorder in her apartment and recorded the second interview with her. So, the incriminating conversation between Lenny and Barnes when Camille was in her bedroom was recorded.
But you said we don't have the tape.
That's right. Nobody does. The cleaning woman told Camille that the tape was still hidden in the apartment, but that she was being watched too closely to retrieve it. Camille said she had listened to it right before she had to flee down the fire escape and remembers exactly what Miller and Barnes said when she was in the bedroom.
So we're going to act like we have Camille's tape recording?
Yeah. And we won't tell him right away that Thom was wearing a wire at the tavern meeting.
Scene 42. Interrogation of Lenny later Friday night. Lenny Logan waives his right to an attorney.
I didn't do anything wrong. Let's get this over with quickly. I have an important meeting tomorrow. I am a close associate of Mayor Bart, and he won't be pleased if you continue to treat me this way.
We appreciate the importance of your ties to the mayor, but I have to tell you, you're in big trouble. We are going to charge you for impersonating a police officer, attempting to bribe the police, and then threatening to have a policeman fired. A policeman who was just doing his job. But there's a way you can make it easier for yourself.
Come on. All I did was to offer to pay for useful information for an ongoing investigation.
We have 2 witnesses who are ready to testify to your crimes.
Look, it's my word against theirs. I'm a close advisor to Mayor Bart, and this is obviously just a crooked attempt to hurt Mayor Bart's reelection campaign. You guys are playing with fire.
Really? So you categorically deny that you attempted to bribe the police and then threatened him?
Absolutely. Because I had the truth on my side. You guys got nothing.
Oh, don't be so sure about that. Thom Lewis was wearing a wire. Everything that you said at that meeting with him at the tavern was recorded. You're right about one thing. We are interested in Bart's re-election campaign.
Okay. Maybe I was too eager to try to wrap up an ongoing investigation. Since when is that a crime?
Let's just move on. What can you tell us about the deaths of Mona Malone and Kim Carter? Was Mayor Bart at all involved?
Are you nuts? You guys are really something.
You're wrong. With regard to Kim Carter's murder, you were clearly engaged in paying hush money to a witness who saw what happened. You might be facing a hard time for your role in her murder. But if you help us out, we can help you out.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We have other evidence tying you to Kim's murder. There's a second recording. Camille secretly recorded everything you said in your second interview with her. Try to recall what Barnes said to you when Camille went into her bedroom. It was quite incriminating.
Lenny Logan doesn't realize that Camille wasn't able to retrieve the recording from her apartment. Rather, the police found the recording during a search of Camille's apartment and gave it to Mayor Bart. Bart had decided not to tell Lenny about it, but instead decided to keep it stashed away for possible future use.
I'll remind you. On that recording, Barnes said he was afraid that Camille knew that you and Barnes were responsible for Kim's murder. Take your time. This is an important decision for you.
What? That fucking cunt.
You better hope that you weren't the one driving the car. But if you were the short guy on foot, you can help yourself by coming clean with us. Our target is Mayor Bart. He's a thug and a liar who has been getting away with all sorts of shady stuff for years.
I admit nothing, but I'm willing to listen to what you're proposing.
We want to know who was driving the car that killed Kim Carter, and also, we want to know all about the mayor's involvement. Be smart and help yourself by giving us information. If you were the man on foot, maybe you just wanted to frighten Kim Carter into keeping silent and you had no idea what Barnes was planning to do.
Scene 43. Saturday morning. Lenny Logan is afraid of being thrown under the bus by Mayor Bart and has decided to accept a deal from the prosecutor. In a TV statement, Lenny Logan makes a shocking accusation. He says that the killer of Mona Malone was none other than Stefan Bart, the mayor's son, and that to prevent this from becoming known, Mayor Bart had masterminded an elaborate criminal cover-up. Lenny Logan does not take any questions. Scene 44. Saturday, noon. The mayor makes a TV statement accusing Lenny of lying.
All right, everyone, good afternoon. Please settle. Just relax. This won't take long. Friends, believe me, Lenny Logan's accusation is utterly false. And it saddens me deeply that Lenny Logan, someone who I thought was honest and upright, would betray my trust this way. I mean, why would he claim that my son had killed Mona Malone when he knows very well the actual murderer sits in jail right now? It is quite possible that he is being paid a fortune by my opponent's campaign, but whomever he is working for, my police force will get to the bottom of this, I assure you that. Now, friends, this has been a valuable learning experience for me, and as you know, I am constantly looking for ways to serve the people better. So here is my vow to you. Once I win this election, I will be extra diligent in vetting my aides so that I surround myself with only the very, very best people. Thank you, and God bless.
Scene 45. Saturday afternoon. Tail end of Stefan's TV statement. He has decided that he's been under his father's thumb long enough.
So, to sum up, I accidentally killed Mona Malone. When I went to my father for advice later that night, he insisted that we keep what happened secret. All along, he was the driving force in the cover-up. But I'm ready to accept whatever punishment awaits me, because, as my father is fond of saying, nobody is above the law.
Scene 46. Saturday afternoon. Lenny Logan provides further evidence of Bart's criminality by playing a recording of Mayor Bart, suggesting with regard to the witness who saw Mona and a tall man entering her building, they might have to make him an offer he couldn't refuse to get him to change his recollection. Lenny had been wearing a wire during that meeting because he was afraid that Mayor Bart might throw him under the bus. Lenny also accuses Mayor Bart of being involved in Kim Carter's murder.
Mayor Bart has just accused me of lying. He is the one who is lying. Fortunately, I was wearing a wire during a recent meeting. Listen to what the mayor said then about threatening the witness who saw Mona and Stefan entering her building the night she was killed.
Regarding that first informant, we might make him an offer that he can't refuse to get him to change his recollection of what he saw.
In case you're not familiar with The Godfather, make him an offer that he can't refuse. That doesn't refer to a fantastic deal on a dining room set.
Scene 47. Monday afternoon. The state police were called in to investigate Mayor Bart. At Camille's urging, they looked for the tape in her kitchen. They informed Camille that they couldn't find anything. A little later, Camille and Thom take stock.
This is weird. I wonder who removed the tape.
You know, we were incredibly fortunate that it wasn't Mayor Bart and his thugs who found that recording. If Lenny had known that we didn't have the tape, we wouldn't have been able to get him to rat on Mayor Bart.
Yeah, we were incredibly lucky.
They are correct that they were incredibly lucky, but wrong about the exact nature of their good fortune. Their good luck was that Mayor Bart himself made a big mistake. In his desire to stash away dirt even on his closest allies, Mayor Bart had not told Lenny that he, Bart, had the tape.
It looks like Bart is going to be indicted soon and has zero chance of re-elected.
God, if he were to be re-elected, there would be almost no check on his power to go after his enemies. We would have had to go into permanent hiding.
Or even worse, spend the rest of our lives dead. But there's no way he's going back to the mayor's mansion. I wonder how he's going to get along with his cellmate. Anyhow.
Yeah, right. Anyhow. Oh, I listened to the tape of your sting operation. You were really magnificent. You're my hero. I'm so impressed and proud of you.
Well, I'm really impressed with myself, too. I now know that I'm the man that you thought I was, but then you thought that maybe I wasn't.
You know, sometimes you use language to only partially reveal what you are feeling, but I love you for who you are.
I love you too. Is that revealing enough?
Scene 48. Monday evening. The election is the next day. Mayor Bart is certain to be indicted for masterminding the cover-up of his son's role in the death of Mona Malone. Although Mayor Bart has no chance of winning the election, his poll numbers, which in any sane world ought to be close to zero, have instead stabilized at around 25% due to the impressive loyalty of his base. The end.